There we go. Great. Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited to have all of you here for today's virtual book launch party. So I've got my flowers here, my candle, and my live bubbly spirit. So this has been long in the making, and I appreciate all of your support. Hang on just a second here while I get my notes up. My notes. So, thank you everybody for showing up. And while you're showing up, it would be great to hear where you're tuning in from. We have people from all over the world, and I'm just thrilled to have all of you here. Roma, Eddie, lots of people have already purchased the book. Eddie, great. And so one of the things I wanted to do was, while people are still showing up, is I wanted to read the preface of the book. So this is the Unbound book. You'll see it doesn't. This is the Unbound book, and I wanted to read the preface for you. It explains sort of how this whole book came into process, and on 4 hours of sleep, I thought it would be better to read this to you than for me to try to remember all the details. So I'm going to read this, and this will give you an idea of what the book is all about. So the idea of writing this book has morphed and changed over time. It originally started as a purge to get my head straight after leaving a lifelong religious cult 20 years ago. But it didn't seem like it had an ending. I stood at the threshold of a whole new life, but with a big, now what? So I shelved it. I tried to get back to an autobiography, but every time I thought about the past, tears would well up. So onto the back burner it went as I continued working on myself, knowing I still had unhealed triggers. I was invited to become one of 14 authors for the now #1 best-selling book, Supercharge Your Success. This was a great foot in the door for a new author. It was basically my signature talk from when I spoke publicly. That project was easy, not painful at all. I included very few details about my past. While I have mentally labored over this book for years, its final shape was formed effortlessly in the mountains of Peru when I created a 12-week program for clients who wanted to learn my system remotely. This outline became the perfect masculine structure to hold the flow of feminine energy, heart wisdom coming through. While writing this book, another opportunity showed up to be one of 17 authors for the book Fear to Freedom. This one here. This became the perfect balance to tell my story of being raised in a religious cult and how I reclaimed ownership of my power. It is available on my author page for those of you who desire more details about my personal life than is included here in this book that I'm presenting here today. And it will be available in 1 to 3 days on that page. As I have continued to live into my own message of ultimate power, I kept being shown one thing I have become quite certain of. The information I've been given was not meant just for me to overcome my hardships and step more fully into my greatest gifts. It was meant for all of humanity, and so it is presented here. My life's journey has given me a special passion for working with women. Powerfully grounded women are needed as humanity transitions away from patriarchy and the masculine model of pushing, forcing, and chasing, and steps into a more effortless, magnetic, loving way of creating through our feminine energy, where things come to us. Inspiration, clients, ideas, help, support, money, and rich resources. This allows us the freedom to safely bring our gifts into the world. While this book is written mostly for women, the Infinity System is equally effective for men. As you will see, feminine power is important for both sexes. This transition from feeling emasculated to accessing our ultimate power supports the notion that all changes come from within, no matter our gender, instead of always looking on the outside for another quick fix. This book serves as an introduction to my Infinity System and its Infinity Scale. How they can help you step into your next level of personal power, whether your goal is to be more financially abundant, have better relationships, attract an aligned partner, or enjoy radiant health for longer than you'd expect. The first 9 chapters will help you better understand our invisible energy system and why it is more important than our physical bodies. And the remaining chapters will help you apply the Infinity System to your own invisible energy system that influences your life. As an energetic spirit, you already know how to do everything detailed in this book, but you've forgotten. I have written this guide to help you remember what you already know. Let me take you back to where this system was impregnated within me. And so that introduction will lead you into the jungles of Peru, where so much of this transformation happened for me. Very powerful experience. So that is a very lovely read of that journey there. Very powerful and magical. So, how do you get the book? Well, for those of you who are on my email list, you already got an email around midnight last night. And so a lot of you have already gotten the book. I've gotten emails from a lot of people already. And it would be great if you've had a chance to read some, to share your thoughts here. You know, maybe you could type in a little something, or maybe you have a question about what you've read, and or wondering if certain things are included or answered in the book. So that would be really great. And from the time I went to bed last night, which was around 3 o'clock in the morning, to, let's see, where is it? This morning, the book has gone from, let's see if I have to get on the right page. That's not it. It was number 48, and then last I looked, okay, here it is. Let me just double check this one. So it was number 48 in the energy healing section at the Kindle store. It's now rated number 6. So you can help me get to number 1. That's not an ego thing, it's a marketing thing if you know anything about numbers. So that would be super helpful. So you can get this book by clicking on the link. If you've gotten it in the email, it's all over the pages. I'm sure Roman will post it here as well. So it's going to be available for $1 until midnight tonight, Pacific time. And, you know, I thought the paperback was only going to be available as a pre-order, but they've made it available immediately. So you can order the paperback now. I ordered one, even though I have a ton of books coming. And it'll be here between the 25th and 29th. So you'll get it before the end of the month. And those who order the paperback will get a gift, a $19 gift that is going to help you eliminate 2 of the most damaging and destructive energies that we run through our bodies, most of you almost every single day. So that's a very valuable gift, way more than $19. So if you order the paperback, you'll get the gift. And then we're also having a drawing. We're having a drawing so that we're going to be giving away. I'm going to be announcing the winners tomorrow because people are going to be ordering this book throughout the day. But anybody who orders the Kindle version will have the opportunity to win and vibrational altitude report. So we're going to have 3 winners for that. And hang on just a second. Yeah, we're going to have 3 winners for that. Hello, Adriana and Dee. This is all on Facebook. Nadine, great. Geraldine is from Ventura. Thanks for letting me know. Beth, Shirley, Roma, Tammy, Luca from Egypt. Great to have you here, Luca. And Janice, Lynn, great. And we have Kate and Bobby and Jade and not sure what that, Fred, Eddie, and oh, thank you. I feel beautiful today. And is that you, Alexis? Great. Yes, it is. Okay, great. And Roma's from the UK. We have people from Australia. Yes. So thank you. Flo was saying it's or Alexis, very awesome, elegant, activated cover. So this is I put this cover together myself, and the whole book actually vibrates at infinity. I calibrated every chapter in this book because I know how to do that. So why wouldn't I do that for my own book? You know, I always wondered why David Hawkins didn't do that for his book. You know, I sort of am standing on his shoulders, and he created a book that outlines the scale of human consciousness that he created. And so in 2012, I broke through his scale, which only went to 1,000. And you know, I always wondered when I read his book, why he didn't raise the vibration to 1,000. The highest chapter of any chapter in his book was only 890. And 1,000, according to him at that time, would have been complete truth. So maybe he didn't know how to change it. Maybe he didn't know what wasn't true. But at any rate, every chapter has been calibrated, very high vibrational. Spirits come through me. So the way the drawing works is, so we're going to have 3 altitude reports for those of you who order the Kindle version. So the altitude report has a $79 value. It's a 17-page report that measures more than 40 calibrations. I don't need to know anything about you, just your name for the report. You know, it's not about numerology or anything. I just tap into your energy, and the most common response people get is that you nailed it. So if you want to, so that's one gift. And then the other one, for those of you who are ordering the paperback, all of you are going to be entered into a drawing to win one of my 30-day quantum leap programs. So this is, and also that altitude report is included in this. So the altitude report is where anybody who wants to work with me starts. And then you know where you are vibrationally, I know where you are, and then we can go from there. But this 30-day quantum leap is usually the program I recommend for people. There was a time when I used to do clearings and I would send people away, but inevitably they would just bounce back to their habits and those ingrained programs. And so this, you know, this is not the waving of a magic wand. This is doing the inner work. And so this is a great way to get help and support for a whole month, where 3 times a week you get an abbreviated vibrational report. And if anything's off, I tell you where it is, you go back and clear it, and then you let me recheck, so that 3 times a week you're staying at this high vibration. Because up here is where all the changes happen. This is where all the magic is. You know, everything that you desire is already here. It's already available. We just need to align you to this energy so that then you can manifest from there. Because as you well know, law of attraction, we are attracting what we emit from here 24/7. You know, whether we believe it, whether we like it, that's just physics. That's just the way energy works. So when we can change what's going on in here, everything in our outer world changes. And if we are having any kind of struggles, whether it's our health, whether it's our in our relationships, whether your finances are struggling, no matter what area of your life you're having a problem, it can be found in your energy field. And you know, there's a really important reason why. Well, you know, it just seems so perfect that Spirit has guided the birth of this book today. Today is an 8, so when you add up 11, 20, 20, 20, that's an 8, so infinite possibilities. But this book, you know, there's never been a more important time than now for people to feel more empowered. You know, the powers that be have been oppressing humanity for quite some time, and it's all ending. And as we are moving into this golden age, you know, we've already rounded that turn, which happened in 2012. We've rounded that turn, which was a huge cycle. It was a 25,000 year cycle, and in that cycle there was 5 smaller cycles, of which the 5th one was also simultaneously ending. So we are now moving in the direction of this golden age, and this is why there's so much chaos and uncertainty, and you know, everything that you see going on is all the garbage that is not aligned with the direction we're going is falling away, and the light will win. So that's why I'm calm, I'm joyful, besides the fact that I practice what I preach. And it's all going to be just fine. And so that's the beauty of this book, is this is the tool that anybody can use to activate their highest vibrational energies. And, you know, what I've done to be able to heal myself from being sexually abused as a very young child, from the age of 2.5 to 5, you know, very foundational years. Also being born and raised in a religious cult. So that's why I can spot the global cult that's happening right now. Also being in an abusive relationship. You know, it's like there's been some people who said that I crammed so many things in this lifetime so that I could really step into this ultimate power. So everything for me is happening exactly on time, perfectly, just as it should. And so I'm so thrilled. I'm gonna get emotional here. It's been very long in the making. And you know, when I first left the Jehovah's Witnesses 20 years ago, I actually did write a book, but it didn't have an ending. And you know, it's like, well, I shelved it. And so I've been trying to write a book, and it's completely different than what I thought it was going to be, but it's Spirit's book, it's not my book. And so I'm just really thrilled to be able to bring it. And eventually I am going to have some online courses around the book and some other things we're going to be creating. Just keep waiting for Spirit to bring it through, bring it in for you. So let me check and see if you guys have any questions. Maybe there's something you want me to look at. Hey, Jennifer. And here's Bess. I'm so happy I tried one of your MediClearings and saw results. I am so glad I've continued working with you. I feel so excited to have this book. I read your intro, and coming from the same cult, yes, Jehovah's Witnesses, you know the journey out. You know something much, much more powerful too, the power of our vibrational chakra and energy system. Yes, indeed, it is powerful. Thanks for sharing, Bess. Let's see if any of you, any else of you have questions. Questions? Is there anything you want me to look at? I know this is Friday. This would generally be Friday's inspiration. I've been coming on here live at 11:11 for the past, I think it's been 3 years. I think I've only missed a couple months. So yes, thank you for purchasing little MJ. And yeah, a lot of people have already purchased the book, so I appreciate all of that. And that's going to give you all a chance to win a super great gift. Bobby's from Sonoma, MJ's from Dixon. Okay, good. Anything else? Okay, so Eddie and Jade want to be on my live video, so I'm assuming that means you have something exciting to share. Maybe you read the book. It says view. Yeah. Let's see what happens. We're waiting for Eddie to show up. And if any else of you have questions, yeah, it'd be great for you just to ask. And see, it's still waiting for Eddie. Okay. I don't know what's happening. Z, Miss Ilea, good to have you here. And the Make Dakasha, I don't know who that is. This book is something gifted. It is, it has been gifted to me, and that's why I'm sharing it with all of you. And it makes a great gift. For $1, you know, you could really help a lot of people. They'll really thank you for this if you gift this book to a bunch of people. Okay, great. And more people ordering the book. Oh, so great. Make that Akasha says, so she bought the book this morning and it was very mind-blowing so far. Oh, great. Okay, good. Yes, number 6, right? It'll be number 1 before the day's end. I'm certain of that. And only because of all of your support and help. So, so much gratitude for that. Yes, the vibes are high, right? You can feel it. Hey, Isabel, nice to have you here. Okay, so Eddie never showed up. I don't know how that works or what happened, but so Make Dakasha wants some help releasing some self-doubts. Okay, well, let's see where that's showing up for you. So the first place is right here. You have some beliefs in your 6th chakra. Out to the 2nd layer, you're holding a lot of rage in these beliefs, and you know why you're angry. I'm not certain, but when we're angry, and especially here, everything that you see out in the world is going to go through that angry filter. And then that could easily cause you to doubt, you know, everything that you see, and everything will not feel certain because it's all passing through that angry filter. So let's pull that anger into the core, and we're just going to release that. Okay, good. And then right at your solar plexus. So this is a place where your power is not feeling, you're feeling less than powerful. So right, 3rd chakra, 3rd layer is where your power is being held down. So maybe you've been feeling kind of stuck, unmotivated, and maybe even tired, a little depressed even. So we're just going to pull in this big block. It's, you know, when you, so here's kind of the 2 things that are happening. Is you have the energy at your solar plexus being pushed down, which can create a lot of frustration, right? But then you also have all this anger up here. It's like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Don't know, but they're both working together. And so then you're using anger as your fuel source. And that's not sustainable. It's not a fun way to operate. And it's not your real power. So that's the big thing. So let's pull in this like energy block at your solar plexus that's diminishing your personal power. And we're just going to send that down your grounding. You do have a good grounding cord, so that's good. Excellent. Great. And then at your root chakra, out to the third layer. So this is another big place where people hold doubts and uncertainty, is right at the root. So if you don't feel safe to step into your power, uncertainty and doubts could be a big reason why, right? So we're just going to pull this energy in, and we're just going to drop it down your grounding. And yeah, you know, everything that's going on the planet right now is affecting everyone in much bigger ways than we even realize. So super important to do the process that I call running your energy. The link to the 20-minute meditation is included in the book. And so that is something that should be done every single day, so that you can eliminate these energies of this relentless 1% that are not going to give up until they're out of here. So as long as we're all doing our part, right? We're all making our own contribution by keeping our own vibration high. Excellent. Okay, good. I didn't measure your doubts now, but as I measure it, I mean, I didn't measure your doubts before, but as I measure it now, they're at 0. So let me know if you feel different, if you feel maybe a little more relaxed, a little more, I don't know. I'll let you describe it. Okay, great. She's tired of not believing in herself. Yes. Well, all of those energies that we cleared will definitely affect that. Great. Great. Michelle, nice to have you here. And I forgot your first name, Web Connection. Nice to have you here. Yes, it's all going to be fine. Yes, it is, Alexis. It's all going to be fine. Thank you, Roma. Great, thank you. I look forward that you're going to order the book too. Explain some of the symbolisms on the cover. Okay, great. Well, this was it was a stock picture that I found on Pixabay, so it was free. And you know, this particular cover is not the final cover. The final cover this is in white, so it's a little more visible, and more of the whole picture is like they kind of cut off the picture in this, so I made them fix it. But there's a big Om symbol up here. And so the power of Om, that's a universal vibrational tone that is incredibly healing and aligning for all kinds of people. And the other part of how she's holding the fire and the earth in her hands, you know, to me, this just really represented how we have way more power than we realize. I'll just share a brief example of how we can have power over the elements more than you even know. So, and Alexis will remember this, when I was in the Amazon, there was this one night where, and we were living on, it was not quite a cliff, but it was a very, very steep hill, and there was 3 casitas that were kind of stacked up the hill. I was at the bottom casita, And there was a deck on the front of the casita, and so it basically went straight down the hill. And in order to get up to this house, we had to walk or climb really 100 steps, all of which none were alike, different heights, different depths. Some were concrete, some were dirt. There was no guardrail. It was very treacherous journey up and down this hill whenever we wanted to go to town, which was about a 15-minute walk, 15, 20 minutes. And so I remember this one night where I had my headset on and I was dancing to the music, which I love doing. I was dancing to the music. I was probably out there dancing for about 45 minutes, an hour. And then I just decided it was time to come in. It was time to come in, and I was kind of done. And as I'm coming in, the wind just starts to get kind of breezy, a little bit breezy. And as I'm walking in the door, it's getting bigger, a little bigger. And I went through the door, and then it's really getting big. And I just was putting my face out the door, and all this wind was just blowing in my face. And I shut the door, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then Alexis told me later that it actually blew out the candle that was inside upstairs. So what I was sending out there, like everything breathes, right? So I was sending out all this powerful energy in the sacred valley, which is such an amazing, powerful energy in and of itself. And so it's like I was in this vortex, sending all this energy out. And then when I was done, it was just all coming back. And so super, super powerful. That actually gave me confidence that I have some control over the elements. And so that was one of the things that helped me, inspired me to go to Australia, and when I was there to help out with the fires. And of course, all the fires here, I've also been doing my own share of work and energy work with that. And the fires really had a lot of rage in these fires. And along with the fires, helping to activate the elemental rain beings. And of course, in Australia, there were a lot of people that were doing this same work simultaneously. And as you know, the record rain started to fall and helped to put out all the fires. So we are way more powerful than we realize. And, I haven't really looked at the cover. I mean, I look at the cover all the time, but I haven't really thought about the symbolisms. But as I'm looking at it, the fact that the water and the ice are kind of behind her, it's, to me, like water represents emotions. And, certainly I think of all the emotions that are on the planet right now, and the icy energies of this 1%. And so I feel like that's behind me, and I resonate with her. I resonate with her, and that I have these control of these elements, earth elements. I'm an air sign, but I have so that's all these elements that we have access to. And then with all of the icy 1% at my back, So that's kind of what that represents to me. So thanks for asking. That was a great question. All right, let's see what else. Bess, great having you here. Oh, okay, she's switching to Instagram because it keeps breaking up on Facebook. Yes, Facebook is kind of that way. So let me just close one other thing here. Sometimes my bandwidth, I'm on satellite, so sometimes it can get a little sketchy. So Roma, you've got such a powerful message and live so much life and helped me many times to raise my vibes. Yes. And that was such a blessing. I during the lockdown, I had intended to stay with Roma for only a week when I went to London, and then the lockdown happened, and I was blessed to be there. And so I ended up being there for 2 months. And so it was actually a great way to see London with no crowds empty subways, and that was kind of fun. So it will also be interesting to go back and see it when it's full of life as well. All right. Uh, yes, you can always listen to this whole thing from the beginning. I did read the preface of the book, which really explains how the whole process came to be. Um, I'm so very grateful for your very rare integrity, Goddess Kimberly. Thank you. I appreciate being seen. So, how long did it take to write the book? Great question. So, you know, like I say, 20 years ago, I tried to write a book and it just never happened. But this particular book, I think it was 2 to 3 years ago was when I was in Peru, and this course came to me, and it was a 12-week course. Was it 12 weeks? Yes, a 12-week course. It was over 3 months. I was basically teaching people my mentoring program. And so that was 2 to 3 years ago. Alexis, maybe you can tell me if it's been 3 years already. And so from there, especially in the last 2.5 years, I have really been focusing on writing this book. As a matter of fact, when I was in Australia, this isn't in the book either, I was, so this is, you get these whacks from spirit that kind of move you along and inspire you. I remember when I was in Australia and we were walking back from the beach, my friends and and I was, I love trees, and all the trees in Australia are completely different than they're here. It's just, yeah, they have trees, they have rocks, they have birds, but they're all different. And I was fascinated by this one tree. I call it a paper tree. And so I peeled off some of the bark, and as I was walking along, I was just looking at the bark and not paying attention to where I was going. And I stepped off the side of the sidewalk, and I nearly did a face plant. I just got almost 2 inches away from the concrete and bounced back up. But at the same time, I really skinned my knee really, really bad. And so whenever I injure myself, it's always an opportunity to look and see, well, what is that about? Usually it's spirit trying to whack you on the head and say, wake up. And so what I realized was that the knees have to do with changing directions and our ego. And so, when I thought about, and so also resistance, like if you're resisting something, there's going to be pain there. And so when I was thinking about what is it that I'm resisting the most, or that I'm having the most struggle with, like bringing to fruition, and it was the book. And later somebody brought to mind that I had been looking at this paper bark. So you have the paper bark, I have this resistance, stepping in, that leg is also about stepping into taking your next step. So I put all those together and I go, duh, I need to finish my book. So that's when that's been in the last 2 years when I really, really started focusing. And during this time, my mother passed away about a year ago. And so that was, one little side step, but it's finally being birthed today. Yes. You're welcome for the explanation. Thanks for asking. No more questions. Is there anybody else? Do you have something you want me to look at? I think we have about time for maybe one more before Instagram cuts us off. Jerry, so glad you made it. Yes, Jerry has we have a great little interview of Jerry and his manifestations. So if you haven't seen the Jerry Davis interview, check it out. Nadine, thank you for birthing your book into the world. Every experience I have had working with you is profound and moves so very much. Thank you. I'm thrilled to read your book. I'm thrilled to have you read it. Great. Thanks, Lynn. Yes, the infinity system does work because it brings you to infinity, the highest vibration available. That's infinite possibilities. So, some people wonder, well, what does infinity mean? That's just infinite possibilities. So we've always known, well, like anything's possible, right? We know that. But how do you get there? How do you get to those? How do you access those possibilities that are endless and infinite and out there just waiting for us? This book is the book that's giving you the system to discover that. So we're all stepping into our gifts. We're all stepping into higher vibration and more joy and sigh of relief. Okay. Any other questions? Let me take a sip. What is that on there? I didn't even see what that is. Okay, I'll take it from this side. I have no idea what that was. All right. Last call. So we will be announcing winners tomorrow. At some point, I'll be announcing the winners tomorrow. I'll be posting the winners on Facebook and Instagram. So keep an eye out for that. And what else? Am I forgetting anything, Roma? My lovely assistant in London. Am I forgetting anything? Now is the time of transformation in human consciousness. Yes, it is. It's happening, with or without us, it's happening. So, don't get dragged by the bus. Stand in your brilliance and enjoy the journey. That's the best way. So I will be back on Tuesday for pop-up Q&A. Maybe you have some questions about the book. And so, be sure to share this with your friends, share the link, you can forward the emails that I've sent out, and, gift it to a bunch of people. It's only $1, right? And they will definitely thank you for this book. So let's see. I just want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything else. It seems like there's one other thing I was supposed to tell you, but can't remember. All right. Well, happy launch day and birth. It's the birthing of this baby of mine that's been a long time. So thank you everyone for showing up. And I think that's it. Enjoy your weekend. Have a blessed weekend. TGIF. And for those of you who are part of the daily 33-day MediClearings that we're doing, I will meet you tomorrow. And until then, keep asking. My favorite question. So here is someone who wants to, I don't know who that handle is, make Akasha. She wants to join the Facebook tribe. Oh, that's the other thing. Yes, I knew there was something. So Roma has created a tribe, right? A new tribe for us, for people who are purchasing the book and who want to know more about the book, have questions about the book. So I'm going to leave it up to Roma to leave the post on that because it's new and I don't even know where it is yet. But that will be a great place to go and compare notes and share ahas and ask questions and everything else. So, great. I'm glad you bought the book. So keep asking my favorite question. What is it? How does it get any better than this? And then stay in that blissful question of, I wonder. Sending so much love to all of you. Have a blessed weekend. Namaste.